Greetings, I'm Tim of Govberg, and welcome to the world of Grand Seiko. Today, I'll be your guide to the proper usage, care, and maintenance of your Grand Seiko SBGR061 automatic. Now, it's important to note that this automatic watch can nevertheless be manually wound should it run down by taking the crown in its first position flush to the case and simply turning it clockwise approximately 30 turns. Now, this will be sufficient to energize the mainspring, and at that point, you can put the watch on the wrist as the natural course of kinetic action on the wrist, in conjunction with the case-back winding rotor, will fully energize the power reserve over the course of several days of continuous use. However, should you wish to fully energize the watch up to its maximum rated power reserve of approximately 72 hours, simply continue turning the crown approximately 45 to 50 turns in a clockwise direction, and you can give it a few extra turns if you like, just to be sure. Because of the bridle-style mainspring, it will simply slip and relieve any excess tension. The watch has been engineered so that it cannot be overwound either manually or automatically. Now, once you've wound the watch sufficiently, you can avail yourself of two precise setting features of the watch. Now, the first, when you pull the crown out all the way, is a hacking function. You'll note hacking, or stop seconds, halts the advance of the seconds hand. Now, the best way to do this is to find a known accurate reference timer, such as an online atomic clock, and then stop the seconds hand even with the index at 12, then advance the minute hand to the next nearest minute. Now, when the watch shows exactly the same time, that is, the reference time catches up to the time you set on the watch, push the crown in, resume the beat of the balance, the advance of the seconds hand, and now you've synchronized your reference time. Now, there's another position, which is known as the quick set, and this is used to rapidly cycle the date. Now, you'll note in the date window, should the watch run down, you can rapidly correct it, or if you encounter an irregular length month, it's also good for that. But it's important to note that the quick set function should never be used during the time between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m., as this is the period during which the watch's own automatic date jumper is engaged. So attempting to use the quick set during that period can severely damage the movement. So disuse the quick set from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. Always be cognizant of what time it is when using that feature. Now, there are three primary concerns or issue areas that owners of fine automatic watches should take into consideration. The first is water resistance. Now, water resistance is important because it's not a static feature of your watch, as are physical dimensions or mechanical specifications. Over time, seals will age and lubricants will degrade, so Grand Seiko recommends having the watch water tested with an authorized Grand Seiko service center at least once every 24 months to ensure that factory-rated hermeticity is intact. Now, moreover, it's important to note with respect to water resistance that although this watch is water resistant, no leather strap ever is. Leather is a natural porous material, and it should always be taken off and swapped out for a textile, rubber, or bracelet before taking the watch into contact with water. Now, with respect to actual water resistance rating, this timepiece is rated to 3 ATM or 30 meters, which in practical terms, Grand Seiko advises is sufficient for everyday exposure, but not for aquatic activity. So, in other words, exposure to rain or splashes while washing the hands. Now, it's also important to note that the crown must always be disused when there is water on the case or should the watch be momentarily submerged. Attempting to use the crown while the watch is wet can bypass the seals, introduce water to the interior of the watch, and cause severe cosmetic and mechanical damage. Now, beyond water resistance, shock and magnetism are significant concerns. Shock can severely damage a fine mechanical movement, and activities such as mountain biking, dirt biking, firearms marksmanship, tennis, golf, and baseball can damage the watch. Vibration can alter the timing, and actual shock can damage or even stop the movement. So ensure the watch is disused during violent activities. Finally, with respect to magnetism, magnets are now ubiquitous in daily life. In the closures of purses and wallets, refrigerator doors, they're generated by high-powered wiring looms in the home and office, speakers, subwoofers, and of course MRI equipment. So keep the watch remote from these sources of magnetic flux. Moreover, it's important to note that if the watch begins keeping erratic time and you suspect that it may have become magnetized, take it to an authorized Grand Seiko service center where equipment is available to quickly and easily demagnetize your watch. Finally, as with any fine timepiece, a complete mechanical overhaul is necessary periodically. Grand Seiko recommends at least once every 3 years having a complete overhaul performed. Now, this should be done exclusively at authorized service centers of Grand Seiko, as these agencies exclusively have the trained personnel, specialized equipment, and original Grand Seiko factory replacement parts to preserve the value of your watch as both an instrument and as an investment. Moreover, only these agencies are authorized to back any parts or work invested with an official factory Grand Seiko service warranty. Finally, call, email, or text our experts through our website, govbergwatches.com, and they'll be happy to walk you through every phase of the ownership, usage, care, and maintenance of this or any Grand Seiko product.